What's up, everybody? Sensei here. This is a very abstract, as Michael Jackson would say, off the wall video, but this is going to be a goodie. Let me tell you, we're going to jump into battery tech and why it is taking so long for these big companies to reveal the true power of battery tech. So let's rock and roll. I'm not going to read this word for word. We're just going to leapfrog through some of this information. You can go back and look at it another time. So somewhere between 1832 and 1839, Scotsman Robert Anderson is credited with inventing the first electric car. By some accounts, this is still under debate. Around 1834-1835, American Thomas Davenport is also credited with building the first electric car. And when I read this, man, I was just like, this is crazy. So you mean to tell me that electric cars have been around for 189 years, and if you look at where we are with electric cars today, how come we're so far behind? It makes absolutely no sense. So when you think back, where in this timeline did electric cars just get stifled? Were they told not to work on electric cars, or the technology wasn't there? It makes you think. I know for a fact that the technology was there. It's all about power. It's all about money. So you have to think, where did we veer off the track? Now, there were others involved with building the first electric car. You can see the names up there. In 1842, both Thomas Davenport and Robert Anderson invented practical electric cars. Both inventors used electric batteries that were non-rechargeable. In 1865, Gaston Plante of France invented rechargeable lead-acid batteries that made electric cars more practical. William Morrison built the first electric car with any success in the United States. In 1889, Thomas Edison built an electric vehicle using nickel alkaline batteries. In 1895, America's first automobile race took place on Thanksgiving Day. Sponsored by Chicago Times-Herald, 6 cars were entered in the race, 4 powered by gasoline, 2 by electricity. In 1897, at the first electric cars to be used as taxis were built for a fleet use in New York City by the Electric Carriage Wagon Company. By 1900, electric cars were making up 28% of the marketplace. In 1899, the first hybrid car. What? The first hybrid car running on gasoline and electricity was invented by Porsche. Gasoline cars, however, were already dominant by this point because of short refueling times and extended range. Wow. That pretty much tells you what was going on. I mean, at that time, you had to look at these companies that were being run by these multi-millionaires. Do you think they really wanted electric cars to interfere with their money? I don't think so. And I believe this is where they started sweeping the development of electric cars underneath the carpet. Think about it. The more gas cars would use, the more money that these multi-million-dollar businessmen are going to stuff their pockets with. That's where the electric car development started to nosedive. If you ever notice, we're always decades behind technology. And I had said this in a previous video. It's like cell phones. Cell phones were developed in the 40s. They didn't become popular until, the 1990s. That's when the public started really using them. But look, from 1990 until now, the power of a cell phone. You can do pretty much anything with a cell phone now. You can run your house on a cell phone. From the security system to the lights You know the camera systems in your homes. You can record music, do all your banking. You have people's whole lives are on their cell phones. Amazing. Now, General Motors with the EV1. The General Motors EV1 was an electric car produced and leased by General Motors from 1996 to 1999. It was the first mass-produced and purpose-designed electric vehicle of modern era from a major automaker, and the first GM car designed to be an electric vehicle from onset, meaning it was not built off the platform of another vehicle. The EV1, in my opinion, is the car that just put fear into the rest of the auto industry. Because when you look at an electric motor, there's no parts compared to a combustion engine. It's very simple. And a lot of these car companies, they make their money off, car parts. This is a documentary that you have to see. Everyone that rides EUCs, scooters, any PEV, you need to watch Who Killed the Electric Car. Gas Hole is another one. Gas Hole tells you how these gas companies and oil companies, how they just manipulated everybody. The answers are out there if you want it. And even with the EV1, they only let people lease those cars. And when they try to go back and release them, they crushed every EV1. And there's only one of them left, and that's in a car museum. See, if you want information, it's out there. You just have to look and research and find it. You don't take my word for any of this stuff. You go and you find it yourself. You research everything. You never take anybody's word. But a lot of, I would say, stalled out development, whether it's in the automobile industry, whether it's in the tech industry, it's normally done on purpose because people don't want to lose money. They don't want to lose power. So they just stalemate everything. They stalemate the development. When I was watching these documentaries, my mind was blown at how easy it was for people that you trust, that think that you would think that would have your best interests at heart, and they don't. Now, this is a 1970, I believe that's year 4 Galaxy, and this is very important right here for the next segment that's coming up. The saga began April 30th, 1977. The gentleman's name was Tom Ogle, and he unveiled his invention to the world. And what he basically did, he made a special carburetor, and he was able to take a car that got roughly 13 miles per gallon and was able to get 100 miles per gallon with his new invention. So he was able to travel 205 miles on just 2 gallons of gas in a car that weighed 4,000 pounds. Amazing. Where's that invention? Why isn't that on cars today? And if you look down there, there's a patent number. You can go there and you can look it up. See, all this tech is here, but these big companies keep hiding it away. Again, do not take my word for it. Do the research yourself. See, the EPA, and they always tell you, oh, a car can get 18 city and 25 highway or what have you. They're lying to you. They're able to get more gas mileage out of these vehicles. And the crazy part is, after he invented all this stuff, he mysteriously died after creating a device that lets any car get 100 miles per gallon. Again, do not take my word for it. Always research it yourself. You can actually go look this thing up under the patent number. At one point, one of these inventions actually made it onto a car, and it was given to somebody. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Always be willing to question authority. Always be willing to question power. That way the power will stay and cycle through hands of people that are going to do something good with it. Again, I am Sensei. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember to ride your wheel like you hate it. Hello. Good night.